More training camp news, more I words, but a face is visiting. That and much more on this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. Yes, we have a whole lot of news to talk about on this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. Happy Monday, and thank you for coming through this episode, episode 254. So let me just go on through real quick. The Shannon Taylor, Adrian Hamilton, Roger Green, Prescott Burgess, Tyus Bowser, Robert James, Tyrus McLeod, Eddie Sutter. But I'm going to give the 54 to Mr. Zachary Mr. Zach, our new defensive coordinator, who will lead this defense to fantastic things. I have a whole lot of hope in him. But thank you all once again for coming through. Happy Monday. You can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. Follow this guy over here on X or on Instagram at Sutton Def. You can follow me on X at simplyas10 or on Instagram at simplyas10.prod. Most importantly, our sponsor, Manscaped. 20% off your whole order and free international shipping to get yourself looking good, looking crisp. Your balls will thank you, like it says on Sutton's shirt. Sutton,
yes, sir.
How was your weekend? How are we doing? Happy Monday.
Yeah. Two good questions there. Weekend was great. Got to hang out with some friends. Eat some good food. How am I doing? I'm doing good too. A lot to talk about with the Ravens going. Yeah, man, listen, I'm excited about this offense. Let me just get that out there right now. I'm excited about this offense. And we'll get into it exactly why, but. I'm doing well, and I'm glad that the Rain Gang is also doing well. We see them live in the chat here. Let's go ahead and bring some of you guys up here. Let's see. We got Mod K-Dog in the house, per usual, saying hashtag replay gang. Oh, yeah, that's right. If you're not watching this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast, that's episode 254 live, and you happen to be part of the hashtag replay gang, thank you so much for joining this episode. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. We do appreciate that. Like K-Dog says here, smash that damn like button. It's free, and it helps these guys a ton. Thank you very much. It does. It really does, especially with the season right around the corner. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. Quony's in the house. Says, what's up, Rain Gang? What's going on, Quony? Appreciate you for coming through. Lisa was waiting, so patient backstage for us, waiting for us to go live. Thank you so much, Lisa, and we're glad to have you back.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for coming through to this stream. We missed you for sure. Let's see. We got Mod Roosh. Mod Roosh is in the house as well. Shout out to Roosh. Appreciate you, my guy. Yeah. We got Dylan. Dylan, actually the last winner of our giveaway. We got to do another giveaway. We mentioned that, I think, a few episodes ago. With the season right around the corner. What do you think?
For the Purple Rain Fantasy. All right. Hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me. I'll throw the idea. Okay. There's a little thing called a Ravens mystery signed jersey. All right. Winner of the Purple Rain Fantasy gets it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
A little incentive to play fantasy. Keep up every week. We'll talk about it after stream, but I'll throw the idea out there.
Yeah. We might even do something before the season. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see.
All
right. We got my guy Chike in the building saying, welcome back to Lisa. Wishing you a speedy recovery. Also, no team in the NFL will get no more than 12 wins this upcoming season. Is that a hot take? Yes, of course. Again, welcome back, Lisa. Also wishing you a speedy recovery. And then to the no team will get more than 12 wins this upcoming season. Is that a hot take? I think that's a hot take. I think that watch out for certain teams are going to surprise you this year. I think. I think that the Eagles are going to be one of those teams that I think they're going to dominate their division. I think the Cowboys are in disarray, and the Commanders are still rebuilding, and so are the Giants. I don't even think the Giants are rebuilding yet. They still holding on to Danny Dimes, but I think that they'll dominate, and they might get over 12 wins. They might go 14 wins. Like, I know that might be a bold prediction in itself, but with the addition of Saquon, AJ Brown still there, and I love me some Jalen Hurts, man. By the way, he was cool in that Olympic commercial today. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the episode. But yeah, I think that the Eagles can come out of nowhere and maybe steal 14 wins. I'm trying to speak for teams other than the Ravens, to take the purple glasses off. But what about you?
I think there'll be a team over him. I think if there were to be one, I'd say on the NFC. I feel like maybe the Niners could do it again, depending, if they keep Ayuk. I know there's a lot of rumors going on. I still think the Niners are a very dominant team. CMC, if he can stay healthy, I mean, that's really no brainer. Purdy's not going to make mistakes. Eagles right there, I think. And then for the AFC, got to throw Kansas City in there. Maybe the Ravens again, but for me, I can't see us getting 13. I can see maybe 11 to 12. I also think Buffalo can do it. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 teams I think can get 13, but I'm going to go a little bit of a hot take. One of those teams will get 13, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. What's going on, Dre? Says, what's up, Purple Rain Gang? Appreciate you for coming through. Killer Cam is in the house as well. Says, what's up, guys? What's going on, Cam? Taquan is in the house. We got Tanja in the house. Rain Gang is in full effect. You guys already know what it is. We got Mod Boz in the house. Says, what's going on, Rain Gang? Ayuk to Pittsburgh soon. I don't know, man. I heard Brandon Ayuk just followed Lamar Jackson on Instagram. That might be like a rumor or something like that. I saw it on Twitter. Like an hour ago.
Has to be true.
I didn't check it on Instagram myself, but maybe one of you guys can do that for me. Fact check it for me. But yeah, I mean, Ayuk to Pittsburgh, that would be really, really good, especially if you want to get a Justin Fields in there sooner. I think you put a little bit more seasoned receiver in there, kind of makes the transition period a little bit easier. A really good route runner in Ayuk, finds the soft spot zones really, really well. Can play within the system really, really well as he does in San Francisco. But we'll see. It is to be seen. Okay, we got Garnett West in the house. What's going on, Garnett? Says, I got the Eagles. Jalen looks healthier than ever. Hope my boys are doing well, by the way. Hope you're doing well, Garnett.
Same to you.
Coming through.
Same to you, brother.
Yeah,
hope you're doing good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Appreciate you. I think, we've went on record, and we feel like the Jalen Hurts hate's a little out of, it's a little crazy, because I think he was MVP candidate for the first 12, 13 weeks before they had the fall off, before the I word called to them, honestly.
Yeah.
I'll call it what it was. And they really weren't the same after that. But those first 13, 14 weeks, they looked like the team to beat in the NFL. And, things kind of, went, but I have no reason to believe they won't be the 1 or 2 seed in the NFC this year. 1, 2, or 3, honestly. But 1 and 2,
agreed.
I really think they're going to be. But yeah, thank you for coming through, G. Appreciate you.
Let's see. J1213 says, I finally got to catch up on a live track practice. Always got me on replay gang. Yeah. Well, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Yeah. I mean, you're an athlete. You're doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. Keep grinding, man. But yeah, we appreciate you. We appreciate you for coming through to the live stream. Shamil Malik says, glad to catch y'all live and not be watching the replays. Hits different live. Yeah, appreciate you for coming through. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, my boy. Appreciate
Yolanda in the house as well says, hey, Rain Gang. What's going on, Yolanda?
Everybody.
Appreciate you. Good evening.
Everybody.
Appreciate you for coming through. Okay. Let's get into some Ravens talk, shall we?
Why not?
Okay. So, a couple of training camp days that we have not talked about since our last episode of the show. I was kind of telling Alex before the stream started, right? I was saying to him, like, Rashod Bateman, and I know I'm always talking about Rashod Bateman, and this is kind of like about the receivers in general. Yeah, I'm gonna keep talking them up. But I was talking about how it's kind of been off and on with his production in training camp. Like, 1 minute he's off with Lamar and he has no chemistry with him. The deep ball is not connecting, and then the next practice, like, they're on target with everything, and that's kind of what's been happening. But I will say, in the past 2 practices, he's been linking up with Bateman a lot more. And there was one today. I think I had the tweet pulled up here. This one was from Kyle Barber. Rashod Bateman. No, this was actually from Jeff Zariebek. I'm sorry. Rashod Bateman delivered offensive play of the day, elevating over 2 DBs in the corner of the end zone to catch a touchdown pass from Lamar Jackson. However, Bateman, who was having a nice practice, stayed down for a while, got up, and appeared to be holding his rib/midsection. So, kind of like a positive negative there. But it is good to see that Lamar Jackson is targeting Rashod Bateman, even in double coverage situations. Like double coverage, you got to be able to trust your guy, and you have to instill that trust in your receiver and give him that confidence that he can go out and make those type of plays for his quarterback. Instead of, I think, last season Bateman spent a lot of time kind of playing second fiddle to Zay Flowers, and maybe, not to say that messed with him a little bit. I mean, he has been on record saying that, like, when he wasn't getting the ball, it was frustrating, right? But I think that having a rookie come in and kind of like assume his position as the pseudo wide receiver 1 on the squad, that probably hurt his confidence just a little bit. So it is good to see that Lamar Jackson is intentionally working him back into kind of like his rotation of targets. What do you think?
Yeah. One thing we've noticed, with this connection is they really haven't been able to get connected because it's been lingering things, whether it be uh, a sickness or
Yeah,
soft tissue outward. Him going down today, I feel like that was just more wind knocked out of him. It happened at the end. He didn't leave the field, thankfully, so that was kind of good news. But it's what you brought up. It's the trust that we really didn't see that much. Lamar trusting Bateman in tight coverage. It was more he was open most of the time, and that's something that stood out to me. Like if he trusts him in tight coverage and get him the ball where he needs to be, and he knows his guy will come down with it, he'll be getting the ball more. Like you brought up with Isaiah Likely last episode. He's trusting him. He's looking for number 80. Hell, if he can start looking for number 7, along with 4, along with 80 and 89, like we'll see a lot more explosive passing plays. And to me, this started on Saturday. I actually have
yeah,
the notes right now on BaltimoreRavens.com. It says the connection between Rashod Bateman and Lamar Jackson was scorching hot Saturday, much like the weather. It was very hot on Saturday. He said when Bateman caught Jackson's first pass of practice, scooping up a low 10-yard hitch pass for a first down, it was a sign of things to come. Bateman caught 4 passes from Jackson during the afternoon, including 2 deep crossing patterns that both gained more than 20 yards. Bateman got huge separation on his first long catch over the middle and presented an easy target for Jackson. And then on his final catch, Bateman never broke stride and ran hard through the ball to make a reception in heavy traffic over the middle. And he's saying despite him missing practice time, Bateman didn't miss a beat. This is quite literally the news that we've been waiting on. Him and Lamar and Zay were making their plays. Lamar and Mark were making their plays. Lamar and Isaiah likely were, but Lamar and Rashod Bateman, this is music to my ears. Hopefully he is fine, but this is everything we're waiting for. And let's just hope this can blossom into a beautiful butterfly come week 1 of the regular season.
oh yeah, agreed there. I mean, again, it's just good to see that Lamar Jackson is again intentionally trying to get him back, um, and instill that confidence in him. Let's see what you guys are saying here in the live chat. Tanja Bowman says Bateman is just not built for this AFC. Maybe they should have left him out a while longer. Hurt again? I don't really know what we're saying at the end of that, but
Maybe
not built for the AFC.
The earlier soft tissue, is that what you're referring to?
Maybe it should have let him rest up a little bit more. But I mean, but this is like a midsection thing, so yeah. I mean, I think it's a little bit different, but I do tend to agree. I had this thought earlier that Bateman, he is like kind of like a wiry guy, like his frame. You know what I mean? Like it's not. He's not very built. I'm sure he's a very strong guy, but like he's not like an AJ Brown archetype receiver where like he's like got the body on him. You know what I mean? He's more of a kind of like that Justin Jefferson type body type. You know what I mean? But so I found myself thinking like maybe, man, I don't want to say it like this. I don't want to say it
Okay.
I don't want to say it like this because I was gonna say like I've been clamoring for like an X receiver, right? And the X receiver
Yes.
I'm looking for is like the DK Metcalf, like the AJ Brown, like the like to take it back in the day, like Megatron's guys like that, like
Yeah.
bigger guys. I'm looking for maybe like a Tez Walker. I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
like somebody like that to step up and maybe take that position. Because I don't Bateman, I feel like he's gonna work more uh closer to the line of scrimmage. So I think he's gonna play more in the slot.
Yes.
Outside, I would rather have. I know Zay Flowers is going to be out there a few times. They're probably going to mix him up too, but I'm excited to see Tez Walker, and I've been kind of banging on the table to talk about this in my head because Tez Walker had a really nice highlight today, and I don't want to let that go unnoticed. So, if I may,
Oh,
Alex, what do you think about Devontae Walker? Because I've been hearing a lot of talk. There's other Ravens
yes.
YouTubers who I watch very frequently. And shout out to all of them. Lunch Break Hot Take, I watch them. Trust the Bank, I watch them as well. A lot of people are saying Devontae Walker could be like wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 by the time the season ends. And I don't know. I don't know if Lamar can develop that sort of trust with him that soon, but what do you think?
I'm not trying to fall victim to the same trap I've fallen into for years and years and years. Mr. Harbaugh is still our coach, and we know how he does it with rookie receivers that aren't drafted in the first round, unfortunately. But you feel like if
I
the
don't know,
production is
bro.
there, I mean, I know we have to see it in preseason, and that's the only thing we didn't see it from a lot of these guys that were training camp warriors and training camp, highlight guys. James Prochet never really made the biggest plays. I know he had the touchdown against the Commanders in like 2021, but outside of that, there really wasn't many plays from him. I can go down this whole rabbit hole of guys who drafted day 3 that really
But the
haven't made that, and
different,
I just don't. I
but
feel
see,
like
my
he's not
thing
going to
is,
see the field.
but we have Todd Monken now, and with John Harbaugh, he's a special teams coach, right? So he really trusts his coordinators with everything that has to do with each side of the football. You know, would you agree with that?
I can agree with that.
Right. So I mean, John Harbaugh. I mean, I don't. I'm not saying he's going to be hands off with it, but I think that Todd Monken is going to find a way to work him into the offense, just like Zay Flowers in year one. Found a way to make him the most prominent piece, arguably, in that offense, right? In that receiving core. So I feel like they can make use of him, man. And don't be surprised. All I'm saying, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but do not be surprised if we find a way to get this guy on the football field, whether it be starting out returning kicks or something like that. Who knows? I don't know, but I feel like this guy's gonna be making plays for us.
And I think about, and I'm glad Dre brought up Tylan Wallace. I feel like Tylan had so much potential. Ravens low-key heard his growth. He has 67 receiving yards. This guy, before he tore his ACL at Oklahoma State, was being touted as a, maybe day 1, day 2 guy.
Yeah.
And we got him in round 4. And maybe that's the Greg Roman offense. And I hope you're right with the Todd Monken stuff, because Tez Walker, to me, I thought he was going to be a second rounder. I really did. And the fact he fell to us, I don't know, what it was, maybe the whole hold on, not a lot. I think the 1 year with UNC, so maybe they were worried about not a lot of film in the Power Five. But to me, has the tools, and the fact he's beaten Nate Wiggins, beat him for a touchdown, and the play he made today, I saw. I know you saw it too. They put out like you got to hope that we can. You see a guy like Puka Nakua or Nasua, I think it's Nakua. Like,
Nakua.
why can't that be us? BYU, good school. North Carolina, good school. And to me, I just don't trust the Ravens. I trust the guys. I trust his talent. I just don't trust us to give him that chance, because Nelson Aguilar's gonna have to get his snaps, but I think Tez Walker can take the number 4 spot 100%. Zay Flowers will have to come out. He can't play every snap. But Bateman can't play every snap. So you're gonna think Tez Walker will see some plays.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely think he will too. And again, even if it's like on kickoffs, honestly, like I think that could be somewhere that he might be able to earn his keep there. And like you said, I mean, Harbs is still the coach, so he does have some sort of say so over these things. And I know he's probably going to have his input, especially on this new kickoff thing and what we're going to be doing with that. I'll be very, very interested to see. Starting on this Friday night, I want to say is our first preseason game
Against
against the Eagles. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So that should be great. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we do there. I kind of want to, if you don't mind, kind of want to talk about that for a second. This new
Let's do it.
kickoff rule, because we had the Hall of Fame game happen after our last episode, so we didn't get to talk about that yet. But we got our first look at the new kickoff rule and what that is going to look like. And basically, after the first couple of times watching it, you started to notice something, right? And by the way, thank you, Roosh. I appreciate that. Manscaped. Save 20%. You guys see the banner on the bottom.
Also, thank
Um,
you.
but yeah, I noticed something after a couple of those kickoff attempts. Basically, what it looks like when the runner, by the time they get up to where most of the players are, where most of the traffic is, it's kind of like a play from scrimmage. It's kind of like a run play,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
It is.
I got to thinking, I was like, if you get a guy who's like really good at like a really physical and downhill runner who's good at like breaking one good tackle and then just like getting loose and like he's like a freight train after that, kind of like a Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? Not to say that, of course, the Ravens are going to throw Derrick Henry back there for kick returns. That would just be crazy to me. But guys like a Patterson, I put this in a YouTube short. Cordero Patterson, he's of course like a journeyman, but every time you watch this guy play football, every time you watch him run the football, no matter what jersey he's got on, he's running tall and he's running hard, and like you've seen him like break through weak arm tackles, and you've seen him break through the line of scrimmage and burst into the second level multiple times. And that's all this is just kind of breaking one initial wave and getting to the second level, so like guys like Debo Samuel, this is why guys like Debo Samuel were hyped about this move. I mean, I think that this could be very, very interesting for the league because before I think I heard something earlier today, right? I think they were saying like we probably get like a kick return touchdown for like every 6 weeks,
Yeah.
in the past. But now I think it's going to be like, honestly, if I'm being dead honest with you, Alex, okay, let's put it like this. Kickoffs return for touchdowns per week, right? Do you think it will be like on average over 1.5 or under 1.5?
I'm gonna go. I
This will
might
tell
go
me where you
under.
stand on this.
I
Under?
mean, I like the rule. I like the rule, but it depends who people have back there and how well they can, get their blocking zones and blocking schemes right. Because it is a running play to an extent.
Yeah,
And one thing, I'm glad Dr. Ilwan brought this up because he said Wallace has been looking good at camp and Hardy hasn't been to camp yet. Looking good for Wallace right now. You brought up guys that can run, that can, break the first tackle. What did
yeah.
Tylen Wallace do on that punt return touchdown against the
Good
Rams?
point. Good point.
And there was a play he made in college that, it went viral, like how tackling is in college football 25. I don't have the games. I don't know how it goes.
Yeah,
But they're saying it's unrealistic. And they showed this play that Wallace did. And Tylen Wallace broke like 3 or 4 tackles at OK State.
yeah.
Maybe, I mean, we're not going to put Justice Hill back there because he's a running back too. But Tylen
Right.
Wallace, possibly a wide receiver 5, he can make his earnings here, which
Oh yeah,
I'm kind of excited now. Think about number 16 back there taking back
yeah.
kicks because there's no tread on them legs. We know what he can do punt wise, and I think it'll be under. But once teams get the hang of it, I think you could maybe see that over. But I know the NFL does
Mm.
want that over 1.5. They want that. You don't want to walk away from your TV during the kickoff because a touchdown could happen. Don't get up and go to the bathroom. Don't get up and refill your drink. Get some more wings. Stay your ass on the couch because this one can be taken back.
Alex, I think it might be a problem. I really do. I think that early in the season, the first couple of weeks, you might see, and maybe even in the preseason, who knows, which is starting this week, as we know. You might see a lot of them get ran back, and I think teams will get the hang of it fairly quick. Especially as they get a couple of games, like real live action games under their belt with it. And these teams start to scheme up a little bit. These guys are smart, man. These coaches, they're smart. They know how to exploit rules. I mean, there was a rule that was shut down that the Dolphins were using, that they were exploiting last year with the motions and everything like that. I think the Rams or the Bills were using it too, or the 49ers, something like that. But yeah, I mean, these coaches are smarter than ever. So especially the young ones, they innovate. They constantly innovate. So I think that they'll do the same thing with this kickoff rule. And I think in the first couple of weeks, you're going to see a couple of them get taken back. Don't be surprised if in week one, maybe one or two goes back for a touchdown. Because you think about it, if you break into that second level, is you and the kicker, right? And you can't hip
Yeah.
drop. If a guy gets by you,
Nope.
you can't try to drag him down from behind. Can't do that. That's a flag. It's just,
I,
I don't know.
I
Yeah,
no disrespect to kickers. I love me Justin Tucker, but I feel like special teams coaches are probably preaching. If you get past that first level, just keep going straight. Don't sit here and take a different route with the kicker. Like you're probably faster than the kicker. Like try to just keep on
yeah,
going straight because and the special teams coach like preaching the kicker, just make him take a different angle to slow him down so our faster guys can catch up to him. But it's once that first level you break that, it's a house call, most of the time, or it's going to be a high percentage. I'm looking forward to it. I hope the Ravens can get it down. I hope we can take advantage of it because that's kind of what our coach is known for, and we've only had the most historic rushing attack the past couple of years, so we should be
yeah,
able to know how to get the blocks down. But man, I'm looking forward to it now. Hopefully, our first kickoff, week 1 Thursday night to open the season is a Tylen Wallace, Deontay Hardy house call, really set the league on fire.
yeah, yeah. That would be awesome to see. Um, and again, I just definitely think, I mean, the whole purpose of this becoming a rule was because scoring was down, like to an all-time low
Mhm.
last year. And the last couple of seasons, scoring's kind of been down. Defenses have been playing really, really well. So in return, the NFL says, all right, let's go ahead and put a rule in place to try to add more scoring to the game because more points is just better for ticket sales. It really is for their
Yeah,
bottom line. Okay, all right. And then Roosh says Derrick Henry house call against the Chiefs will feed families. No, it really will. It really would. And not even talking about like a kickoff return, but like just like a big breaking off a big run in Arrowhead, kind of silencing that crowd after they drop the banner on us.
it's
It's gonna be sweet.
set in he's a Raven now. Number
Yeah,
22, like it to me, it didn't feel like it, but it's kind of set in now. Like I'm just waiting for that first him running, and then somebody's coming. He kind of shrugs him off. Actually, was rewatching the Ravens Titans game week 6, and he broke off that run, the direct snap, the only run he really broke
yeah,
off against us. And Marcus Williams had to make a business decision. He went low, took him out, but
yeah.
not many people have Marcus Williams back there at safety.
He got
So I'm looking
stuffed into
forward
the
to
ground on that play too.
I'm
Oh,
looking forward to seeing it. Like to me, like I said, it's set in that first stiff arm will feed families, that first touchdown will, and that first somebody going over to him and putting that fake crown on his head, that will give me goosebumps 100%.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, kind of covering a couple of other things from training camp before we move on here. Let me see what else we have. So defensive play of the day from today, that is, came from safety Ardarius Washington. Jumps Josh Johnson's pass to Malik Cunningham on a full sprint, picks the ball off, and heads 80 yards the other way for a pick six. Hamilton on the sideline sprinted into the field to celebrate and run with him. So it's good seeing, again, Ardarius Washington. I know they signed Eddie Jackson, but I like the depth of Ardarius Washington back there because he is the true definition of a Raven. He might not be the most talented guy out there, but I mean he plays really hard, and he gives 100% effort. I'm comfortable having Ardarius Washington come out and start if need be. I will say that. So
Yeah. I'm probably about to give the most boring analysis real quick about something that happened Saturday. So don't throw tomatoes at me, but as
okay.
somebody who played punter in Pee Wee, this really just I appreciate this. All right. Punter Jordan Stout boomed at
Wait,
least
you
3
played
punts more.
punter and Pee Wee?
I was a punter as well. Me and my dad, he would take me to high school near me, and I would just be punting, coffin corner. I swear to God, I was punting.
Wow. You
Yeah,
have any
I loved
video?
it. There's no video, but I probably can still boom one. Not gonna lie,
Ah,
but
okay.
but but Jordan Stout boomed at least 3 punts more than 60 yards, all with significant hang time. To me, I thought he was really bad last year, especially that punt in the playoffs. But if he
Mm,
can really get these right, and I don't expect the offense to have too many times where we're backed up and we have to force rely on him to flip the field. But to me, that's a good sign because I was losing faith in Jordan Stout, but hopefully Sam Cook's working with him, and the fact
yeah.
60 yards with significant hang time with our gunners the way they are, I like that. I like that a lot. So just your punter news. I'm sorry, just your punter news for the week.
All good, all good. So we talked about Bateman being kind of banged up. Hopefully, we'll see him back on the field soon. Now, our guy Tyler Linderbaum was another
Mm,
one who also suffered a little I word. I don't know if it was today. I don't think he didn't report to practice today, so it must have been the other day over the weekend. But what was it? Yeah, it's a soft tissue thing with him too.
yeah,
Another soft tissue thing. So he's kind of day to day right now. I think Harbaugh, that was the update that he gave, like day to day. So hopefully he can get back to 100% because he is, I would definitely say right now, our best offensive lineman.
yeah. And
Yeah.
speaking of that, Ben Cleveland's the backup center.
Oh
So
no. Yeah, I'm
so
not
so he's taken first team
no.
reps. It's surprising to me because you think it'd be Patrick McCarry who has started high profile
Yeah,
games, significant games, playoff games as a center.
at center, yeah.
I mean, maybe that's showing something to me, maybe where the Ravens view Patrick McCarry. And shit, as we're talking about offensive linemen,
Sure.
me and you were texting, you texted me some great topics we still have to talk to today. And I'm like, perfect.
Mhm.
I'm like, did you miss anything? And literally not 5 minutes later, Adam Schefter puts a tweet out that center/guard, former Dolphin, former Cowboy, Connor Williams is visiting. Well, he visited the Baltimore Ravens today after it seemed like he was going to be a Seattle Seahawk, like contract
Mhm.
on the table. I believe physical taking place. He came to Baltimore and visited here,
Yeah.
and this is a guy who I brought it up. Can play, guard, a spot that we are really lacking right now. And a backup center, if Linderbaum can't go, but the way John Harbaugh put it, he should be back in a couple of practices. I'm all for this move. Even for depth, if he's not going to start, veteran guy, give it to me, please.
Yeah, I mean, I agree there. I say it all the time. In these long seasons, you definitely need depth in some of the most core positions, like premium positions. which is going to be in the your offensive line, and then also in your DB room as well. I mean, those are two places where you do not want to be banged up, especially going late into the season, because a lot of games just feel like washes because there's nothing that your team can do without those two groups playing being productive. So, no, I agree. I agree. I want to have more depth on the line. So bring him in, man. Uh, Now Ben Cleveland, like you mentioned, playing center. I'm not a big fan of that. I can just see a lot of like blunders, especially out of the gun.
Yeah,
Uh, no thanks. Just an overall no
yeah.
thanks. So hopefully Tyler Linderbaum can get back to 100%, like I was saying. Travis Jones had a monster
Yeah.
day today as well. Dominated in pass rush in 1v1 and 2v2 drills. Also ate up blocks in 11 on 11s. Travis Jones, who's been known to be the strongest man on the team, uh, which
Yeah.
I guess is in question now because Andrew Voorhees apparently is like the strongest player in Madden in the game of Madden, and he hasn't
The
even played a
second
snap of NFL
strongest.
football or second strongest. Like I don't. They said that. So I tweeted about that yesterday, and people were trying to cook me in my replies. They were saying, "Oh yeah, you must not have ever seen him bench 47 times or 39 times or something like that on the 225 when he had a torn ACL." And I was like, okay, strongest, like second strongest though. What do you think?
Did you guys see the picture Justin Madubuike posted this weekend on the story?
Oh, that the Aaron Donald like one, bro.
Yeah.
He is
That right there is
cut.
97 strength. That is
Yeah,
97. Like, I remember, like, we were getting cooked baby Aaron Donald. Like, we weren't bullshitting you. Like, part of my language.
yeah, yeah,
Obviously, not, that's a high ranking, but the work ethic, training with him, and just seeing the progression he's made, the fact he's getting the sacks where he's playing, interior is insane.
yeah.
And yeah, Boz is right. Matt, I haven't played that game since 2021. I don't know what's going on. I'm kind of an old head. I'm an unk at this point, honestly, is what I think people would call me. Can't believe I got to this level. Yeah, the 97 strength is crazy. Maybe 90s in there, but not playing a snap and having 97. That's a lot of respect towards Mr. Voorhees, and hopefully our starting left guard, Mr. Voorhees, future Pro Bowler, All Pro, Mr. Voorhees.
Yeah. Hopefully, future All Pro, Mr. Voorhees, for sure. That would be absolutely amazing. Void says, "What happened to the center we drafted? I think what the seventh rounder? I think
Oh,
Sam.
from Oregon. I'm not, no, from Michigan State. Michigan State, the one who like flipped off the Michigan fans. Yeah, what happened to him?
Not sure. That's a good question. Should probably look into that.
Because I haven't heard his name at all. Like I haven't seen him in videos.
I don't think I've
Uh,
heard like seen any beat writers say anything about him.
is he hurt? I think he might be hurt.
Probably
Nick Samak. Was he
Nick
another
Samak.
one
Yeah,
that was hurt out of college and we got him late?
I think
Not too
so.
sure.
I mean, I know he's definitely with the team. They just posted a video about him a few days ago, but I can't find any
Yeah,
information about him being hurt. Huh.
that's a great point.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, I guess we'll have to look more into that. See what he's been up to. All right.
He was playing through a partial pectoral tear and suffered a season-ending
Mm,
broken left fibula in 2023. Not thinking about 24. Um, it looks like he's healthy. I'm not too sure.
not really sure where he's at. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Void also says this last draft was the perfect time to load up with offensive line depth. Could have taken an O lineman over Devin Leary, an undrafted free agent quarterback in the preseason can get the job done. Yeah, I mean, I do think that the Ravens are trying to look for more of that permanent backup for Lamar now that they lost Tyler Huntley to the Browns. Because Josh Johnson, I don't think that anybody really wants him to be any more than like a camp body, to be honest with you. Like you're just not going to get any sort of upside really with him playing quarterback for your team. I mean, that's kind of why he's a journeyman. Um, but so I think that a guy with a big arm like Devin Leary, who can probably stretch the field a little bit, he can come in a game, especially in like a high pressure situation, if need be, right? And at least kind of use some of that athleticism to kind of maybe throw guys open or get guys the ball and give the defense a different look. So I think that the Ravens again they're looking for their more permanent backup quarterback. But what say you, Alex?
So, Roosh, real quick, going back to Nick Samak, he says the
Okay.
Ravens site shows a pic of him in the background with his helmet off. He still could be hurt, and he broke his leg November 18th, 2023.
Mm,
So maybe they're trying to ramp him up. I'm not too sure. And he said he didn't see him when he went to training camp. So that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up, Void, because I totally forgot about him. But going back to the quarterback, I'm right there with you. I'm on record. I want Tannehill as our backup to sign him.
we did talk about that.
If it's third quarter and we're up by 2 touchdowns, I trust Tannehill to let's say like
manage the game.
they had to take Lamar out. Yeah, maybe let's say that Lamar has cramping. Same. He got his tummy ache. Let's just say that's the case. I would trust him and Derrick Henry to run that final time out of the half and get out there with the win. But as for Devin Leary, I feel like you could have got guy preseason. Like we got Tyler Huntley, was a preseason guy. Maybe they view Emory Jones like that. I'm not too sure. Can stash him on the practice squad, or maybe even even though we stashed Trace McSorley on the practice squad and we drafted him 6th or 7th round. I'm not too sure about the whole Devin Leary stuff.
Yeah,
but we'll looking forward to seeing him in preseason. What he can do.
Let's see. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the other topics that we had for tonight's episode.
Yes.
Moving on from training camp, there was the NFL Top 100 list. That they wrapped that up.
Yes.
That's all finished and done with. Some surprises. I was actually very shocked. I was shell shocked, if you will. I mean, let me just get right into it. Tyreek Hill number 1. Patrick Mahomes number 4. I don't understand that math at all. I mean, you talk about the best players. I mean, we're talking about a Patrick Mahomes who just won 2 back-to-back Super Bowls without Tyreek Hill. So what are we talking about here?
I don't know when they ask him. I feel like it's Pro Bowl, but is this a regular season thing? Killer Cam, I don't think it's a big deal either. Honestly, I'm not the biggest. My TL was full of Kansas City fans who are looking for a reason to be the underdog. It's voted by the peers. Oh, during the regular season, I think he had 29 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. It's regular season. Like, it's really not the biggest deal. To me, I'd rather have the Super Bowls over a stupid ranking, and I think any other player would. So it just feels like
that's so dumb. Why would they do the voting? I don't know. Why would they do the voting and then release it like so much later? I just don't get that. I don't understand that because things change and they know that.
Like, why is Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, maybe it's just rage.
Joe Burrow.
Maybe that's what it is.
It gets the engagement. It does, because I saw the one of Aaron Rodgers. The quote tweets were crazy. Joe Burrow's was crazy. Lamar's was crazy. Mahomes was crazy. So it's getting the attention they want. So maybe you just cracked the code of what it was.
Yeah. Roosh says people are overreacting like crazy. I wasn't overreacting. I was happy that Lamar got number 2. I expected him to be like somewhere top 5, but this was before I knew that they voted like way before in advance. So yeah. Let me see. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to some news that came out today, actually. So randomly, just out of nowhere, the NFL announced that since the 2028 Olympics will be in LA at SoFi, they're going to be bringing flag football to the Olympics in 2028. And so, like,
yeah,
they had a whole commercial for it that they cut for it. They had Jalen Hurts starring in it. And I thought that Jalen Hurts did a great job for it. I think he was the perfect guy, to be honest with you, like kind of be like the ambassador of the sport. I mean, I think that was a really good move by the NFL. But I love this move. I love this move for them to get football going in the Olympics. And I think that this is kind of like the start. And this is kind of going to be like a small microcosm of what's to come. Maybe they might add true international tackle football. I mean, we saw it a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you saw the pieces of videos on your TL about international football's Japan versus USA and all that stuff. Did you see that? I mean, I think that they might actually be coming around. The world might actually be coming around to adding football into the Olympics. So I'm just imagining how cool it would be to see like all of your favorite players, kind of playing side by side. And I know some people say, oh, they wouldn't play because they'd get hurt or they have, you know, that risk or whatever. But I don't know, man. I feel like guys would suit up for the Olympics, though. I feel like guys would. I mean, more sooner than they would suit up
It's
for a Pro Bowl.
yes, and it's crazy like the sports because I don't want to veer off too much into soccer, but there's no reason why Egypt should be in the semifinals of the Olympics for soccer. Honestly, like USA sent out fourth and fifth guys. All these countries sent out like fourth, fifth stringers, and but you have basketball where they're sending the best of the best. Like it varies sport by sport, and I think
That's
flag football
interesting.
will be the best of the best.
Mm,
I think flag football will send out their best players. As for soccer, it's because the Euros was the summer, the World Cup. They care more about that than the Olympics, which I get. But how having a gold medal, I mean, if I'm a guy, I kind of would want that at the point, but I get it. But for flag football, can you imagine the USA team we put out real quick? Like Mahomes at quarterback, probably Tyreek Hill,
oh my God. Oh
Justin
yeah,
Jefferson.
easy, easy. Oh man.
Pick, pick your running back of who's the fastest. Who you
Yeah,
want better?
literally, man.
It wouldn't be fair.
I feel
It
like what?
wouldn't be
I
fair at
mean,
all. Give us the
fastest
gold.
running back right now? It's a good question.
From the Dolphins, who took the league by storm the first couple of weeks last year. He's up there.
A
Um,
Chain?
yep, he was up there. I mean, Keaton Mitchell was pretty damn fast before he got hurt
Oh, Keaton Mitchell.
to
Yeah,
bring
he
the
was hitting the
Ravens in that.
gas. Oh yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, but I mean, for sure. And then on defense, I mean, it would mainly be like DB work, right? But
Sauce Gardner
everybody would be on lockdown. Sauce Gardner, you know what I mean? I don't know. Kyle Hamilton would be back there floating around somewhere. You know that
with
much.
his build.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, man, he'll
how
be
how long his
unstoppable.
arms can get to pull your flag.
Yeah, man, that would be a lot of fun to watch. That would be a lot of fun to watch. And DDSQ says NFL players are not playing in the Olympics. Hey, man, I don't know if
I know Tyreek wants to play. Tyreek said he wants to play.
somebody's gonna want to play. I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think that they would put an NFL player like a Jalen Hurts in the commercial if they didn't plan on having any NFL players ever play in the sport. You know, I think that would be a little bit weird. But and
Kind of
Dante
luxury
says
archer
Patrick
from the
Surtain is
timing.
locking shit up. I like that
PS2
too, boy.
and Sauce Gardner back to back is crazy. Like
Yeah,
having those two as your corners and just
yeah.
the most athletic guys you have over the field, like some fast linebackers. Yeah, it'll be fun to watch in 2028.
Mm.
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it at SoFi. That's man. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be big when you really think about it. Like I don't. When is the last time that America hosted the Olympics?
Had to be
Man,
in the 90s, right? I think that's when it was
I don't.
in Atlanta.
Hmm.
Is
Yeah,
that when
yeah. I
it
know it was
was?
Atlanta. I know it was Atlanta. I can't remember exactly what year it was though. But all right, let's go ahead. Maybe somebody can throw that down in the chat for us. Okay, let's go ahead and let's get into some questions. Right? Let's get into some
Okay, let's
questions.
do it.
Drop your questions down below in the live chat if you're watching live right now. Listen, your questions can be about Ravens football, can be about other NFL teams, can be about other
Yeah.
sports, can be about anything. Literally, it doesn't even have to be about sports. You can ask us anything right here, right now. Also, listen, if you're not watching this episode of the Purple Rain podcast, episode 254, live, and you're part of the hashtag replay gang, thank you so much for coming through this episode. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel as well, and leave your comment down below in the comment section. All right. First off, let me
I'll
ask you
ask you a
this.
question.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We're talking about Olympics. You've been watching the Olympics, going on. Like what sports you've been watching, and just some of your takes on it.
Man, it's hard for me because like I wish I had like an Olympics tracker that told me exactly when certain
Yeah.
events are gonna happen, but I don't. And I know there's probably some app or something like that out there, maybe some website that'll tell me, but like I tried Googling around a little bit and I couldn't really find anything that was like very easily accessible, like right there. So I kind of just catch the highlights on X, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Like yesterday with the
Okay.
men's 100-meter race, I know Noah Lyles won. That was like a big thing. I missed that
The
race. I
hate
didn't
watch
catch
was
it.
crazy.
It was.
Yeah,
But I
I
saw
didn't
the
know either
replay. It
when he
was
was.
crazy.
It's crazy, like the simple margins from being the fastest in the world to not even getting a medal. It's
Yeah,
hundredths of a second. It's
yeah.
insane. Like
No, that's a hell of a
I
sport though when you think about it. Like,
one thing I would love to get your opinion on is like we talked about the
Yeah.
3x3, the men's like Jimmer Fredette got hurt the second game. Surely it's like there's other guys want to play in men's. Like there's no reason why we get knocked out, not even getting a medal. You know what I mean? Like 3-on-3.
Yeah,
There's got to be,
but I think we talked about this. I think we talked about this last week too, and I was saying like, I know that there's some guys who, of course, maybe aren't good enough to make Team USA. I'm talking about NBA guys, that is, maybe not good enough to make Team USA like the 5-on-5, but like the 3-on-3 is right there. And like again, that's probably more
yeah,
fun because it's just more open space. You don't have to worry about getting double teamed. You don't have to worry about. You can just kind of go out there and hoop and do it for your country. So it's
yeah.
just I don't know, man. I'd love to know the reasoning behind why they don't participate in that.
I saw the girls medaled at least. They got bronze, which I'm happy about that. So good for them.
Yeah,
But the
that's
guys
good.
didn't, unfortunately. I only knew Jimmer Fredette on the men's team. Honestly, that's who I knew. And
Now,
even
what's
then,
the
he was
gold
playing in
medal
like
count?
China. And the fact, oh, I think we're tied with China, but medals all together. A shout out to the swimmers holding it down. Katie Ledecky, Maryland.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Um,
yep.
Something about swimmers in Maryland, just cooking. But yeah, medal
I don't know
wise, we're
what that
running away with
is.
it.
Yeah,
But gold medal wise, it's up there.
21-20.
But
So
yeah, you got to think we'll
China's
win
got
it.
us by one gold medal.
We're gonna get the basketball. I have no doubt about that. We'll
Oh,
get
for
the
sure, for
basketball.
sure, 100%.
And then gymnastics too have been killing it. Simone Biles going crazy.
Yeah, shout out to Simone Biles. Okay, let me see. Garnett with a two-part question here says, "What do you guys think about the renovation at the stadium?" And two, how do you guys feel about Baltimore playing in a dome? Okay, good questions here. I like these questions. Number one, I did see the stadium renovations. I think that they made some sort of exclusive kind of skybox sort of thing that looked really cool with a bar and like some more cool stuff. And then they have like some on-field seating as well that they just kind of installed. I really like that. And my immediate thought goes to, there's a lot more money going into this franchise now because of Lamar Jackson and kind of like the energy and electricity that he pumps into this team and into that stadium, M&T Bank. So we saw it a couple of years ago when they started with the jumbotrons. I think we talked about that on a previous episode, and now they're continuing with more stadium renovations for hospitality. I'm all for it. I hope that they get more restaurants,
Yeah.
kind of like the Camden Yards, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Um, I'm not a big the seats on the field. I feel like it's gonna be hard to even watch. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be just. I feel like you're gonna have, especially primetime games when they have like the cameraman going back and forth on like the
Yeah,
I forget what it's called. But they'll be going back and forth. But I saw your tweet, Garnett. The view you had, and the fact that they're up in that even more, it's gonna be beautiful. Most of the time, I don't sit in that section. I'll either be up high, or if I'm lucky enough, I'll get in the hundreds. But it's nice to see they're investing in M&T Bank because it's a beautiful stadium,
yeah,
and I hope there's more soccer games for my selfish being. Exhibition wise, we have one on Wednesday between Barcelona and AC Milan, which should be good. But I want more, just I want concerts as well. Like
yeah.
we don't. The Orioles feel like have more concerts than the Ravens do. I want to see more guys come or more girls come to the stadium. Just for it to be more of a tourist attraction as well. Like, there's no reason why FedEx Field is getting more concerts than us. Maybe just because it's DC, but M&T Bank clears FedEx Field in all
Well,
areas.
FedEx Field is a little bit bigger though.
Maybe, or it's public transportation. I don't know, but I feel like I just want more stuff at M&T Bank.
Yeah, I agree. I
Selfishly,
agree. Question number two: how do you guys feel about Baltimore playing in a dome? Um, you know, I, I don't like it. I don't like it. I think I'd rather Ravens football is meant to be played in the elements. Kind of like from the
yeah,
inception of this team, it's always been hard nosed, gritty. It gets cold in Baltimore. It is what it is. The people of Baltimore realize that they tough it out. I mean, it's a tough city. So I don't really see any reason for there to be a dome. It's not like we get lots of hurricanes, tornadoes, things like that. So yeah, no reason for a dome, in my opinion.
yeah. I like having the rain, the snow, even though I'm not going to be out there in the snow. But I like all the elements being a factor. As someone who's been in a rain game, still
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Let me see. So, let's see. Void has a question. Says thoughts on a potential Madden slash Fortnite slash any game in the Olympics. So esports in the Olympics, basically. Uh, esports. You know what? I thought esports was like rapidly growing. I don't know if it still is.
Yeah.
You know, like for a second, like it was really blowing up, but like I don't really hear too much about it anymore. What about you?
I'm Unk status. I don't know what games are hot right now.
Me neither.
Honestly,
Yeah,
if it like, I don't know if Fortnite is still popping. I haven't played Madden in a while. Only game I play is FIFA. Hell, me and my buddies made a Minecraft world together. That's how
there you
bored we
go.
were, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It's fun. I'm not. I would sit here. It is fun just building stuff, but I don't know any of these games. I think I played Rainbow Six. I don't know if that's still popping. I know Call of Duty is always like the thing, but we can have
yeah.
100 guys from each country hop in a war zone, and whoever's left is left. And even then, like, you might be at an unfair advantage if your loot's not better than the other. So that would be interesting to see if they had their own separate thing for esports.
That would be cool. That would be cool. I think that probably would be. I think the Olympic like competition committee might take issue with it because it's not
Yeah,
like you're not exercising any like physical, real physical
yeah.
activity or something. They'd argue it's something like that. But all right, let's go ahead and get to our next question here. Let's see. Lisa Ann says, "Will Pat Ricard get 1,500 yards this season?" That is going to be a resounding no. I'm going to take the under on that one, Lisa. I'm going to take the under on
Yeah,
that one.
take the zero off the bat, and then maybe we can have a little bit of 150 all-purpose yards. Then there's a
Ooh,
good. Even then, it might be a
yeah,
little too much,
yeah, that's a lot.
But I'm gonna have to go the under, and I'm putting the mortgage and the car payment and the light bill on that.
Yeah. Let's see. We got another question from DDSQ. What's going on, brother? Says, love the show. First time catching it live. Okay, welcome. Says, do you see a world
Oh,
where
welcome.
Lamar can win MVP again this year, or do you think writers will not reward him again without a Super Bowl? You know, I was just thinking about this the other night. I was driving home and I was listening to some sort of some national media sports show, whatever. I think it was like First Things First. So Nick Wright and those boys, and they were saying that like they were basically saying like, no, he's not going to get another MVP because he needs that Super Bowl. But then I thought I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I thought the MVP was a regular season award. So when did we start
Mm,
factoring in the context of the playoffs? Or are we only doing this because it's Lamar Jackson or what? Now what I do understand is voter fatigue. You know, voter fatigue is a real thing. I mean, he's won 2 MVPs in his career, and there's a lot of other guys who are up and coming who can argue. Listen, man, CJ Stroud might be up there. A guy like,
yeah,
again, Patrick Mahomes is always going to be in the mix. Burrow can come back strong. I don't know about Josh Allen. We'll see. Uh, but there's a
yeah.
lot of guys low key who
Jalen,
can step up.
Mr.
Jalen, yeah,
Hurts.
yeah,
Um, if I'm looking around, other guys, I'll throw golf in there maybe just because I'm a golf fan. If he has a good year, but even it's hard. It's hard to see long shot, long shot.
yeah, yeah. Come
But
on.
I look at Aaron Rodgers. He had back-to-back MVPs.
But that's Aaron Rodgers. Like that's one thing that if you're beloved like an Aaron Rodgers, then you can win a couple of those back to back. But I don't see golf doing it,
I'm
man.
you
I just
know
don't.
I'm not a big beloved Aaron Rodgers guy anymore. After the whole he's smarter than everybody else, that's kind of where I've lost it. It's like the only person that gives him a platform is Pat McAfee at this point. That's the only platform he has.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people who resonate with the demeanor of an Aaron Rodgers. Kind of just like
Yeah,
tells you
that's
his
true.
opinion, tells you how it is, doesn't really care what you think about it. So there's a lot of people who still look
I
at
mean,
him as
Joe
kind of
Rogan
like
might
this.
give him
Yeah, for sure. I think he's been on
Joe
the
Rogan
Rogan's
podcast. There you
podcast.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But seeing a world where
yeah.
he
I
does
don't
win MVP again this year, man,
I
it
don't
would
think
be
this year.
so tough. You're looking at you would have what would the Ravens have to do? What would he have to do to like just you have to give him MVP? What would he have to do?
15-2. If it's a
Mm,
regular season award, like they say, 15-2 has to beat the Chiefs. Um,
over
can be
30
one divisional loss and
touchdowns,
one other random
less than 10
loss.
picks.
Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep. And running as well. He has to get them rushing yards. He has to
Yep.
be, because that's the argument people wanted to make last year. And I saw a lot of Bills fans like, I don't know why Bills fans hate Lamar. I guess the whole Lamar Allen thing. I don't hate Josh Allen at all. I think he's a fantastic player, but just like a lot of attacks on him, I thought Lamar Jackson was a great quarterback last year. He was winning games. He was efficient. He wasn't getting you big numbers, but goddamn, he was efficient. But
Yeah,
I saw Garnett said it. The only MVP I want for Lamar is Super Bowl MVP, and
facts.
I think we're a Lamar Super Bowl away from having some great conversations right now. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. 2-time MVP, 1-time Super Bowl champion. Yeah, give me that.
You see here, Dr. Ilwan says, how many cornerbacks and strong safeties will we carry? I believe this will determine how many wide receivers we carry. With that being said, how many wide receivers will we carry? It's another good question.
I'll go 6
But
receivers.
can you list them?
Zay, Bate, Aguilar, Tez, Tylen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Hardy, is Hardy going to play? Is he our returner because he's a receiver? Dayton Wade's been making people look. He's been showing off. Kadir Ismail has been looking good as well. I've seen
Tylen
the Ravens love
Wallace.
a
They're
good
probably.
UDFA to make the team. I've Tylen make it. Tylen will make it. He's my 5.
Oh, he was your. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was my 5.
Yeah, I feel like we're
Like Dayton
missing
Wade, Kadir
somebody.
Ismail.
Hmm.
We didn't sign anybody else besides Hardy. I said
Maybe not.
Tez.
Maybe not. Yeah, we did say toes.
I think, yeah.
I think that is all of them. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. There's gonna be 5 or 6. Now, man, I'm just excited to see. I had another thing about Zay Flowers that kind of just popped back into my brain. Did you hear about Zay Flowers? I think he's doing like some sort of like charity work or something like that.
Yes.
Did you hear
Yes.
about that?
I
Refresh my
did.
memory on that. What
With
was that
M&T
about
Bank.
again? Yeah, yeah, with M&T
I think
Bank.
he
That's right.
signed a multi-year thing to be like their spokesperson and do public events. And hey, M&T Bank kind of only around Maryland. So if you're tied to like 2028, 2030,
Yeah.
low-key kind of like an extension without an extension. Um, I'm all for it. The way he looked his rookie year. Keep it up.
Wow. I mean, I think that says a lot about what, you know, the city thinks about Zay Flowers. I mean, he's the guy. Like he's the wide receiver one here. And I know you saw that highlight against Nelson Aguilar over the weekend where he like catches the ball and just like
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like the patented Zay Flowers move, you know, like catch the ball, get you going one way, and then kind of like stop on a dime and change direction the other way. I mean, man, it's a beautiful move and makes guys miss all the time. And I think he's going to improve upon that and get a lot more yards after the catch this year for sure. But yeah, five or six wide
As
receivers, and then probably
CBs,
likewise for probably likewise. So let's see, so Marlon, and go Nate, B. Steve, or Jalen Armour Davis.
Millette,
Uh, yeah, Millette. It's 5 right there.
Tampa is still in the PUP.
He is. He is. I was just thinking about him too.
So Pepe is still battling out there. And it's like
Right.
our Darius is a mix of both.
Hmm. Either way,
Yeah.
uh, the more I
I'll go
always say
6.
this: 6. The more the merrier. If they can find the room for him, like keep these guys available
Yep.
because in the past
Yep.
couple of seasons, I mean, it's happened to all the teams, but later in the year, cornerbacks get banged up, man. They do. They do. I mean, it's just kind of the nature of this game. But yeah,
And I think that's why we were so successful last year. We had a Ronald Darby and Arthur Millette if
yeah,
Stevens and Humphrey couldn't go. And, I thought Darby played better than I think most fans give him credit for. I don't remember him getting beat a lot. As for Millette, the only time I remember him getting beat was by Marquez Valdez-Scantling in the AFC Championship game because I turned the TV off after that. I was sick after that. But besides that, having that depth, it can really be the difference between an extra home game. Honestly, getting that 1 seed because Darby played well, Millette played well throughout the season, and B. Steve played outstanding throughout the year.
yeah, it did. Okay, let's see here. Another question. This one came from Void. Says, "Have you guys played Detroit Become Human? I guess it's a video game. I have not. Again, I think me
I'm
and Alex are both on
barely play.
unstatus. I don't even have a
Yep,
PlayStation 5
we
yet,
are.
to be honest with you.
Neither
I
do
need
I.
to.
And you
I
know
want to
what?
get one though.
I get hate for it because my PS4 sounds like BWI.
Yeah,
It sounds like the
yeah.
Southwest plane about to take off. And you know what? Until that sucker breaks, I'm rolling with it. I'm riding till the wheels fall off on it.
Oh, man, if it ain't
So,
broke, don't fix it, right?
yep, exactly. Roosh actually says Ravens have worked out Anthony Miller and UDFA LSU receiver John Trey Kirkland. Anthony Miller, formerly of the Bears. I think he had a stint with the Steelers as well. I think last year, 2 years ago. John Trey Kirkland, LSU, and always good for an LSU player. But Anthony Miller to me gives off returner vibes. So I don't know if Deontay Hardy is ready to play.
Hmm.
Personally, interesting
Still
though.
to be seen. Truth Teller also brings up there bringing in Connor Williams. Yeah, we touched on that a little bit earlier in
Yeah,
the show.
love that.
We said we love it. The more offensive linemen, it's again one of those premium positions, just like the DB room, like we just got done talking about. Like the more depth you can have there later in the season, it can only bode well for you. Okay, let me see. Sean Cole says, "Do we have a backup center?" So they got what's his name? Ben Cleveland out there right now. They have Ben
Yeah,
Cleveland out there taking snaps at center in Tyler Linderbaum's stead. So I don't know if that's going to be the end all be all. Alex brought up the point earlier that Patrick McCarry has taken real snaps, playoff snaps under center before. So I mean, I don't know why we're not kind of plugging him in there, especially since he is kind of like our offensive Swiss Army knife, offensive line Swiss Army knife. So we'll see what they decide to do there. But for now, I mean, it's looking like they like big country. Yeah, big Cleveland. Um, okay.
yeah. Boz, the fact you know the nickname to our backup lineman is a little scary as a Steeler fan. So thank you for rocking
Yeah.
with us.
Thank you so much, boss. I have a question for you though, Alex.
What's up?
Did you see that the kid I Show Speed jump over the Lambos?
I have
What
um
are your thoughts on that?
my boomer take. My boomer take is that's kind of what's wrong right now with the youth is because somebody's gonna see that and try to
Mm.
do it and kill themselves. That's my boomer take.
Ooh.
Yeah, very.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean
I didn't
it's
expect
impressive.
you to say that.
He's very athletic. He's insanely athletic, and honestly, I'm gonna give him a lot of credit for soccer blowing up in the USA. I'm gonna give him credit for that, but I don't want to see somebody trying to be like him. And that's kind of like I don't want a piece of WWE. That's what I say. Don't try this at home. And guess what?
Right.
Guess who was out there on a trampoline putting people in the STFU and attitude adjustments? I was doing that. I was putting people in the walls of Jericho, and I did it at home. And you're not. And I saw it. And I thought it was cool. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
No,
just put
that's
the
a
don't
good
try this at
point.
home or something like that.
Yeah, there should have been like a disclaimer or something like that. That's a good point. I hadn't even looked at it from that angle until you brought it up like that.
Yeah,
Um, but it's he is super athletic to jump over two moving vehicles going at that speed. I heard they weren't necessarily going that fast. I mean, like not like super high speed, but like fast enough to where like if it hits you, like it can do some serious damage. So again, the more I think about it, yeah, like that is super super duper dangerous. And in the age of like social media and whatnot, like kids are very impressionable, right? And kids whose brains maybe not be all the way developed yet. I don't know who's watching the show. Maybe we do have some younger, like a younger audience.
yeah,
But listen, don't try everything that you see on the internet at home. That is the message from Sutton Def and Simply AS10 here. Do not try everything that you see on the internet at home. But that was an amazing feat. I will say that. I will say that.
yeah. That was I didn't believe it until I saw it, and especially like I have a rule like anything you see on a kick stream, just get ready for whatever you're about to see. You're not gonna believe it, but it's gonna be something crazy, like
Yeah.
Akon, singing "Locked Up." To yeah, I thought that was hilarious. I think some of them are corny, but the fact they got Akon singing that was pretty cool. But yeah, the kick is a crazy place, and Rumble, those two. I've never typed in kick or Rumble, but I just see the clips on X, and
I don't
it's
even
like
know what
a
kick
whole new
is.
type of. It's a streaming thing, but it's like it's the part of America I never plan on going into. That type, insane.
Got it. Got it. We got a couple of Purple Rain Pioneers coming in here right before the show ends. We got
Wowzers.
Jabari Cruz Ellis,
Jabari
Asmodeus Donatos,
and,
and KLA
and
Sports, the
KLA.
moderator, coming through. What's
Wowzers.
going on, y'all? Appreciate y'all for
Wow.
coming through. I mean,
Thank you.
that's crazy. Back to back to back.
Thank
We
you.
were just about to wrap up. You guys might want to hit that little playhead and rewind for us. We talked about a lot of good stuff on this episode.
Yes.
Football season is right around the corner. We just had the Hall of Fame game. The Ravens played their first preseason game this week on Friday against the Eagles. We get our very first look at Ravens football for the first time in a long time. So I'm excited for that. Jabari Cruz Ellis dropping the two-piece in the chat, says
Wow.
just a donation from somebody.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much,
Thank you.
Jabari.
Thank
We
you, Jabari.
appreciate you making it rain here on this episode 254 of PRP. But yes, I mean,
But there's
go
good
ahead. Yes.
news.
Good news.
But you know what that means? This is our last episode before our first preview of the year.
Ooh, yes. Yes. Oh,
So
we're
we'll
back.
see. We'll talk about who we're looking for, players that we're looking out for. It'll be hitting, and I'm looking forward to seeing guys like Sanusi Kane, late round guys, guys like Bo Braid, who I am.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not his number one fan. That's probably Roosh, but I'm his number two. I'm looking forward to seeing number 6 out there, the new number 6, Bo
Right.
Braid, hitting people, showing what he did at UMD. Devin Leary out there, Josh Johnson,
Yes.
Devontae Walker, Dayton Wade, Kadir Ismail, Charlie Kolar, those type of guys. I'm looking forward to seeing out there, and I will be watching up until the fourth quarter. I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah. And Ruth saying here, Braid will make the team. Hello. Yeah. I don't know.
Yes,
You guys are all for the
need
Bo
that.
Braid campaign, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, stay tuned for more coming from the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel, not just the live shows, but the shorts as well. And again, we also have the fantasy football coming very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that. We'll probably do a live episode where we kind of gauge the interest in it, and we'll set up some sort of entry or whatever. We want to mix up the people from the year, so we'll get that for you. And then also, one last thing, giveaways coming soon. All right, giveaways coming soon.
Yes.
Be on the lookout for those as well. All right. With that being said, before Alex takes us out, just remember you can go on manscaped.com and use our code PRP to save yourself 20% off, plus free international shipping on whatever you would like from that very lovely, jubbly website. You can follow me on X or Instagram at Sutton Def. You can follow him on X at SimplyAS10 or on Instagram at SimplyAS10.prod. And with that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out.
Thank you very much for coming through to episode 254 of the Purple Rain Podcast. And as always, have a great week first and foremost. But stay positive, test negative.
Yeah, and never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest days, to call God. It's been episode 254 of the Purple Rain Podcast. We're going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Preseason